Hello students, Namaste. How are you all? Hope all of you are well. In the previous video, I had explained to you about the combustion flame. Actually, that was our reference textbook chapter number 5. But if I talk about the NCRT, in the NCRT chapter number 6 is combustion and flame, and coal and petroleum is chapter number 5. So after explaining this chapter, combustion and flame, I will go towards the chapter number 5, means coal and petroleum. Actually, in the reference book, this is chapter number 5 and coal and petroleum is chapter number 6. So not an issue. First of all, let us explain NCRT chapter number 6, combustion and flame. Later on, we will describe about the coal and petroleum. So in the previous video, I had informed you about what is combustion, what is combustible substances, what is non-combustible substances, and what is ignition temperature. Related that, I had informed you about the topics also. But today we are going to start from NCRT. So let's read NCRT combustion and flame chapter. What the NCRT wants to say. So let us read it. The textbook. We use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry, and for running automobiles. Can you name a few fuels used in our homes? Name a few fuels used in trade and industry. What fuels are used for running automobiles? Your list will be containing fuels like cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, CNG, etc. You are familiar with this burning of a candle. What is the difference between the burning of a candle and the burning of a fuel like coal? Maybe you were able to guess light. Candle burns with a flame, whereas coal does not. Similarly, you will find many other materials burning without a flame. Let us study the chemical process burning and the type of flame produced during this process. Actually, in this first paragraph of this chapter, it has been just described us about that what happens when we burn a paper, what happens when we burn a candle, what happens when we burn a coal. Sometimes, especially, they have given a difference between the coal and a candle. You might have seen when we are burning the coal, the time the air is not sufficient, so the smoke comes. But when we burn a candle, that time you will see the light and heat come. So in the previous video, I had described you about what is combustion, right? And I had informed you a chemical process in which the substance react with oxygen to get off heat and light is called combustion, as I had described you also. But in this chapter, especially about the NCRT, if I talk about, in the NCRT, first of all, they have came about what are the substances by which fuel do automobile runs. As for example, if I talk about my motorbike, so motorbike runs on the petrol. If I talk about the car runs in the both diesel and petrol. Trucks runs on the diesel. So heavy vehicles run on the diesel and the lighter vehicles run by the petrol. If I talk about our cooking gas, means that CNG, that is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Some vehicles run to the CNG, compressed natural gas. So these all the fuels are specially used in the vehicles to run the vehicles. Similarly, to produce heat and light, we require a process called combustion, as it is described in our NCRT textbook also. And in the previous video, I had already described about the combustible substances and combustion. What is combustion and combustible substances? So now here in our NCRT textbook, it is written what is combustion. Recall the activity of burning of a magnesium ribbon performed in class 7. They are just asking you in the class 7, we have described about one activity about burning of magnesium ribbon. So as the magnesium ribbon burns, it gives you the magnesium oxide, Mg plus O2, that is 2 Mg plus O2 is equal to 2 MgO, right? So as the magnesium ribbon burns, it gives you the heat and light. As we perform the similar activity, a charcoal, hold a piece of a pair of tongs and bring near the flame of a candle, burns in, but what do you absorb? We find the charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burns in the producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. The substance that undergo combustion is called combustible. It is also called a fuel. The fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. Sometimes the light is also given off during the combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. In the reaction mentioned about the magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. So they have just described about you what is combustion. Combustion is a process by which any combustible substances is burned to give you heat, and sometimes it gives light, as it is described in our NCRT. But as in the previous video I have already informed you about what is combustion. Combustion is a process by which any substance is burnt to give, or any substance produces heat and light, is called combustion, right? But if we talk about the NCERT, in the NCERT is the 100% clear book. NCERT means, you can understand, it is a Gita of students. So we have to follow our NCERT only. As I have already informed you about what is combustion. Combustion is a process by which, it is a chemical process. Which process? Whenever I ask you physical process, chemical process, so you have to describe a chemical process in which a substance react with oxygen. A substance react with oxygen to give heat is called combustion. So combustible substances are generally known as fuel. Combustible substances are generally known as fuel. Because of the combustible substances, because of the ignition temperature, then only the heat is produced. Except this, the heat can't be produced. So got it? Combustible substances. What is combustible substances? Combustible substances means the substance that undergoes combustion. A substance which undergoes the combustion is called combustible substances. And the substance which does not go or doesn't undergoes the combustion is called non-combustible substance. If anybody will ask you, so what is combustion? So you can say combustion is a chemical process by which, when the combustible substances react with oxygen to produce heat, is called combustion. And what is combustible substances? Combustible substances are material which undergoes the combustion is called combustible substances, and a material which does not go under the combustion is called non-combustible substances. Got it? Any doubt during this combustion, combustible substances and non-combustible substances? Now, after understanding about this, here they have done activity 6.1. Collect some material like straw, matchstick, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, stone pieces, glass, etc. Under the supervision of your teacher, try to burn each of these material one by one. If the combustion take place, mark the material combustible, otherwise mark the non-combustible. See, they are just going to say you in the activity 1 that what are combustible substances. You have to collect and you have to burn it. If it is burning, then it is combustible. If it is not burning, means non-combustible. Generally we know what is combustible, and generally we also know about the non-combustible substances which do not burn, which doesn't undergoes the reactions of oxygen, so they do not burn. And in activity 6.2 they have informed you about that. In the previous video I had taken the candle, and after then I put a glass on it. So after some time that candle had blown off, and a candle in which after the wood logs I have put a glass, so that candle was burning. Means in the burning process, especially oxygen is required, right? In that previous video I had explained you about, we find that the combustion, air is necessary. For the combustion, air is necessary. The candle burns freely in case when the air can enter the chimney below, and when the air does not enter the chimney below, from the below, the flame flickers and produces smoke in the cave. The flame finally goes off because the air is not available. So remember, when the air is not there, so the combustion process can't be occur. Now one more thing I want to tell you. Have you ever thought in the film or movies, whenever any person's their dresses are burning or they have got heat on their body, so what happens? A person run with a blanket, they cover their whole body with a blanket, and then finally that burning process become off. Can you tell me why they run with the blanket? Why they cover their body with the blanket? Can you tell me? Because as they put the blanket on their body, the air doesn't get in contact. As air doesn't get in contact, as we have seen in the activity also, the candle will blow off. Similarly, the fire will blow off, as it is given in your textbook also, activity 6.3. It was of charcoal. You might have heard, when the clothes of a person catch fire, the person is covered with a blanket to extinguish fire. Can you guess why? Now recall some of the experiences. Does a matchstick burn by itself? How does it burn? You must have had an experience of burning a piece of paper. Does it burn when a burning matchstick is brought near it? Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing a lighted matchstick near it? Why do you have to use a paper or kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal? You have heard on the forest fires. Do all these experiences tell us that different substances catch fire at a different temperature? So the lowest temperature at which any substance catch fire is called ignition temperature. Yes, it is very important, especially when you go to the village. You will see they are burning chulas, but now according to the Ujjwala Yojana, so now nobody is using. But in some village where there are very much poor people's BPL, below poverty line. If they are still poor, so they are still using chulas in their villages. So you will see, as they can't burn a wood. If they will bring a matchstick near the wood blocks or wood logs, it will not burn. They put some kerosene oil on it, and then they put a matchstick on it, so then the fire catches. Directly fire doesn't catch. So because each and every substance have their different ignition temperature. So what is ignition temperature? The lowest temperature or the minimum temperature at which any substance catch fire is called ignition temperature. Can you tell why a matchstick does not catch fire on its own at room temperature? Why does the matchstick start burning on rubbing it on the side of the match? Yes, see, just suppose if that matchstick is having a power to burn, why it is not catching fire directly as it is kept in the box? Why doesn't it? Why it is taking a rubbing process on that matchstick box wherever the phosphorus are there? We are rubbing with it, and then only it catches fire. Have you ever thought about it? Because of ignition temperature, each and every substance require minimum temperature at which it burns. So that is called ignition temperature. We find a combustible substances cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than ignition temperature. Have you ever seen cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for a long burning stove? Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at the room temperature. But if the kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. Does it mean that ignition temperature of the kerosene oil is lower than the wood? Does it mean that we need to take a special care in the storing kerosene oil? The following activity shows the essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to 1. See, first of all, you should know about. See, wood can't catch fire easily, but if you put kerosene oil on it, so now wood can catch fire, right? So now, what does this question wants to say? The question is indirectly saying to you that kerosene ignition temperature is low or wood ignition temperature is high. So actually, to understand these all the concept about whose ignition temperature is low and whose ignition temperature is high, and why these substances are catching fire and why these substances are not catching. Have you ever make a paper cup? Paper cup? Have you ever done this activity in your classroom? Or if you have not done, then now what you have to do, you have to just make a cone of paper. In that cone of paper, in one paper you have to put water. The water should not fall down. Means you should make a paper cup. In the paper cup you will see, and after then below that paper cup, put some water on it and then start burning. You will see the paper is not burning and your water is becoming hot. How does this process happen? And generally, if you make a paper cup and just put a fire on it, it will burn. Now question is, if the same process is there, but we have put water on the paper cup, now the paper cup is not burning and water is becoming. So here what you can say, the paper is conductor. Now question is what? Now how you will understand which substance ignition temperature is high or which substance ignition temperature is low. Be careful while handling or burning candle. Make 2 paper cups by folding a sheet of paper. Pour about 50 ml of water in one of the cups. Heat both the cups separately with a candle. What do you observe? What happens to the empty paper cup? What happens to the paper cup with the water? Does the water in this cup become hot? If we continuously heating the cup, we can even boil the water in the paper cup. Can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by the conduction. The heat transferred to the water by the conduction. So in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached. Are you getting or not? So in presence of water, since the water is present in that cup, so the ignition temperature is not reached to the paper, so that's why the paper doesn't burn. But if the single paper is there, then the ignition temperature is reached and paper starts burning. Got it? So that's why if anybody will ask you why the paper cup containing water doesn't burn and single paper start burning, because you can say when the water is there in the paper cup, that time the presence of water does not allow the ignition temperature to reach the paper. That's why the paper cup doesn't burn and the water becomes hot, and it can be boiled also. So the substance which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire in the flame are called inflammable substances. The substances which are having very low ignition temperature, and it can catch fire easily, it can give you a flame, is called inflammable substances. So examples of inflammable substances are petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, and many more inflammable substances. So today we have discussed about the first topic of the chapter, combustion and flame. I hope all of you have understand. If you are still having doubt, please drop it down into the comment box section. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Share this video with your friends. Thank you.